Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
One time for Kenzie's Krimes, where we all sit around the campfire, and Kenzie tells us a story of murder, mystery, drama from our area. And we usually learn a lot during these things because it might be a story you've heard a little bit about. Maybe you never heard anything about it. But Kenzie, give it to us.
Okay, normally I ask you a name, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to get to a notorious name in a second, and I want to naturally see the response, okay?
All right.
So on December 11th, 1945, 31-year-old Frances Brown had been found dead in the bathtub in her apartment. She had been shot and stabbed, and written on the wall in her own lipstick was the message, "For heaven's sake, catch me before I kill more. I cannot control myself."
Oh, my God.
The images that flooded every media source throughout Chicago and beyond. Whoever committed this heinous crime had quickly been given the name the Lipstick Killer. Around the same time, 43-year-old Josephine Ross had also been found dead in her apartment with fatal stab wounds as well. Now, less than a month later, early in the morning on January 7th, 1946, so because it was in December, 45, right? 6-year-old Suzanne Dagan was reported missing from her bedroom. A ransom note demanding $20,000 for her return was found in her bedroom window. Later that night, the Chicago Police Department discovered her dismembered body scattered in sewers across the north side.
Oh, my God. And before you continue, you said $20,000?
Yes.
So that's like $48 million today.
I mean, seriously, in 1946, that was a lot of money.
Jeez.
And not very much follow through on the ransom note because they murdered her immediately. That wasn't a joke, Brian.
I know.
I'm just saying I don't know why you would, if you wanted the ransom, I don't know.
I'm sorry. The way you said that, too, it sounds like, yeah, they just saw the note and put it aside, and then they went to Jimmy John's or something. Well, I'm sure she'll get out. I'm sure it'll be fine. And then, she ends up dismembered. Oh, my God.
Well, what's weird is that the murderer, in this case, the lipstick murderer, it's very odd that he didn't give, I don't know, a moment to receive the money.
That's what I'm saying. No patience.
No patience. But for heaven's sake, I mean, he wrote the message, "Catch me before I kill. I can't control myself." So maybe that's what happened, right?
Yeesh, wow.
So many publications named these murders the most atrocious murders the city had ever seen at this point in time. Now, with fingerprints from the ransom note as well as Frances Brown's murder scene, police spent the next 6 months fingerprinting every single person they took into custody, hoping for a match. Born and raised in Chicago, William Herons was a quiet child who spent most of his time alone. In his early teens, he began burglarizing homes, usually looking for apartments that had not had their doors locked.
That's easy.
Right.
That's smart.
No,
that's
exactly. And this is what I'm about to say. He wasn't just another criminal, though. He was actually very smart, like you just said, Brian. In 1946, before William had turned 18 years old, he'd already skipped his senior year of high school due to intelligence and gained admission to the University of Chicago as a student studying electrical engineering.
Well, damn, that's a great school.
I know, and he didn't even have to be a senior. I was a senior. Maybe you should do it again. You know? Let's go again. One more round. He had also been elected as vice president of the university's Calvary Club. I don't know what a Calvary Club is. Do you?
I don't.
I'm hoping I'm
Not a
saying
cabaret,
it
right? Not a cabaret.
No, it's Calvert. I'm assuming Calvary Club.
Huh.
And despite his success, the burglaries never stopped. He would check someone's home and make sure no one was home. He didn't want to burglarize while people were inside. He was looking for the easy grabs, right? He'd sneak in and steal anything left lying around of value, looking for wallets, purses containing cash, things like that. Now, despite a number of arrests, including one arrest for possession of a stolen handgun and time spent at correctional schools, he was hooked on burglary and always returned to his thieving ways whenever he could. On 26th of June, 1946, so this is within about 6 months of the Lipstick Killer's murders, right? William was robbing an apartment, and he was spotted by another resident who called the police. When he realized they were onto him, he ran. Police fired at William, and he pulled out a handgun, but he was hit over the head with a flower pot, which rendered him unconscious.
Is this a Bugs Bunny cartoon?
Now, he was arrested and taken to Cook County Jail in Illinois. His fingerprints were taken. And during all this process, he was still unconscious. Within days, his prints had been matched to the fingerprint evidence found on the ransom note left at the scene of Suzanne Dagan's abduction.
How big was the flower pot?
He was unconscious for days.
Was it a cactus or something?
It was like a lemon tree, like in Greece. I don't know.
It was a redwood tree and a flower pot.
His name was released to the media, and as far as Chicago was concerned, the lipstick killer had been caught. However, I'm not sure if they caught the right person.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I would pause right there.
All right, well, we'll come back and finish the story, get the conclusion of was he caught? Was this the man? It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. The conclusion of Kenzie's crimes. This one is fascinating. The lipstick killer?
Yes.
Okay.
So, quick recap in case you're just joining us. You don't have to tune out. You're not going to miss the beginning here. A string of 3 heinous murders happened in Chicago. One of them had a message written above the body in lipstick that was very altogether ooky, if I may say so myself. And they were searching for someone for 6 months. William Herons was 18 years old, or just under 18 years old, and was commonly just like to burglarize homes. He was caught and a flower pot was dropped on his head in order to catch him. And while he was unconscious, they fingerprinted him. He didn't wake up for several days. And during that slumber of unconsciousness, they released that they had caught the lipstick killer. So he woke up and was named a serial killer, like, to the public. That's what he woke up to. Not a nightmare. Definitely not a dream.
I imagine after like 3 or 4 days, he woke up and went like, ow!
He did the Peter Griffin. He did that. Wait, I'm what? What did I do? It's Monday, right? No, it's Friday.
Oh, my gosh. So, flower pot aside, okay? He woke up and completely refused to confess to these murders. He was then injected with, quotes, truth serum,
Oh,
which
boy.
I don't know what that is. I don't have a recipe for it. I wish I did because I would have used it on all my exes. But he was then also given a spinal tap without anesthetics to see if he was faking his delirium from the flower pot.
God!
William claims he was held in a room with a single light bulb, tied down to a bed while recovering from his head injuries, and he was questioned nonstop and repeatedly, which clearly he obviously had like a concussion. He was out for days from a head hit, right?
I was going to say, can't they just look at the giant bump on his head?
They did not believe him.
He's like going, I was hit with a flower pot. Yeah, right.
He also never had any representation called on his behalf and was not offered, and it wasn't offered to him to do so.
It sounds like that was pretty clear.
Yeah, not good. William claims an article in the Chicago Tribune was what made him lose hope. The headline wrote, "The Heron Story, How He Killed Suzanne and 2 Women." The article claimed William had confessed and provided full detail of the confession and the murders. William had in fact not confessed, and the story was a fabrication by the reporter George Wright in order to sell more papers. Other news articles fed off that paper article, and the entire thing just started to snowball.
Now you gotta remember, that's the day when like newspaper boys were out there, extra, extra, read all about a lipstick killer caught.
Yes.
And then they made all, like you said, it just that was
Listen,
social media.
Fake news has been a problem, obviously, for a long time. Pre-Twitter, we had an issue. So thinking he had lost, and honestly, what he was trying to do was avoid the death penalty. So he decided to confess and just used the details that they had reiterated to him over the past week and a half while he was tied to a bed, essentially.
Jeez.
William Aarons went straight to prison, and there he would spend the next 65 years.
What?
In 1954, the Illinois Supreme Court did recognize there had been multiple violations of his constitutional rights, but they decided that they were not going to give him a new trial. I don't get how that works, but they did.
Supreme Court said basically, our bad.
Never a word you want to hear when you're trying to get something, okay? Dolores Kennedy was the daughter of a defense attorney and a legal representative herself, and she decided to come to his aid when she realized news reports of that time were very inaccurate and the actual events of 1946 had never been told. She decided to re-examine all incriminating evidence from that time, starting with the fingerprint on the ransom note. Suspicions on the credibility of this evidence had been raised. Also, The message on the wall, the lipstick killer himself. This is the most disturbing aspect of this case when it comes to evidence. The revelation came by a retired reporter that the killer did not leave the infamous message on the wall of Frances Brown's home. He claimed it was a reporter who wrote the message. He arrived early at the crime scene before police came and thought it would help him sell more papers.
Damn, they wanted to sell papers back then.
This is nuts. And honestly, it wasn't like there was a lot of competition. You think papers would be flying off the shelf?
Yeah, that was your only information.
Yes.
I mean, I guess they see like Superman, there's like 80 people working in a newspaper on a floor, so I guess they did make a lot of money.
Wasn't it Spider-Man? I guess Superman was also a lot of newspaper. Actually, now that I'm realizing it.
Oh, yeah, he was a photographer.
And he started taking pictures of himself, not in a sexual way, but because he was Spider-Man and he made a bunch of money off of it.
Hey, check out this net.
Okay, so...
Yeah, shooting webs, am I right?
So these are the things that got submitted to analysis, and every single one of them has been debunked. William Hernandez applied for release over 30 times during those years, never wavering from his story of innocence and how he was basically tortured and evidence was planted on him, etc. He was born in 1928 and imprisoned for life in 1946. Jeez. William became the longest-serving prisoner in the United States prison system, with evidence that now suggests he was an innocent man the entire time.
Wow.
Isn't that so sad?
So he died in prison?
Yes.
He
died as an elderly man in a wheelchair in prison.
So is that it? Then we don't know who the lipstick killer really is? Or it might have been him, but... No, it doesn't sound like it.
There's no evidence. And to be honest, there's really no evidence that now these are strung together. The message was fake. The time period suggests that maybe these had the same serial killer, but the ransom note in no way ties in with Frances Brown's murder.
There was no more lipstick killings after that, right? Wow.
Because the lipstick was fake. So there's probably murders after that.
Yeah,
the lipstick had nothing to do with the murderer. He didn't do that.
Damn.
These journalists made up so much stuff. Like, it's wow.
Well, I'm glad they're honest today.
Yeah, no one lies today. That's the takeaway.
Well, they're so fair and balanced.
Krimes.
Milwaukee police found body parts in a North Side apartment.
Not because I was angry with them, not because I hated them, but because I wanted to keep them with me.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
This is evil, what those people have done to me.
She says Heaven's Gate awaits.
I'm not guilty.
Q101.
Well, there you go. Kenzie's Krimes for Tuesday, July 30th. And if you missed any of that, he came back maybe at the end. You only heard some part of it. It will be at the podcast, The Brian and Kenzie, the new podcast at Q101.com and anywhere you get your podcasts like Spotify or Apple. You can hear the whole thing. What a story today. What a wild story.
I know. He deserves... I wanted to tell that story because he deserves his name cleared, because I'm sure a lot of people just remember him being the lipstick killer if you don't do the deep dive. So I hope that brings a little bit of innocence to his name.
Yeah, I hope his family members are still around listening. Hope they heard the highlight of that.
Yeah,
giving it
absolutely.
Out there. Okay, so it's 8:35. Coming up, we have the Q Olympics. We've been competing every day at 8:50. We do this, and something we can do in the studio to compete against each other in a, I guess, physical. Because today's, I mean, yeah, it's physical, but it also is right in my wheelhouse of what we're going to do today in the competition. I haven't won a gold medal yet. Kenzie's won 2?
Yes.
And Case has won
1 gold.
Although there was controversy yesterday as Dan Purcell, the commissioner of
the genius behind all Q101 ticket giveaways, who also instated himself as the Q Olympics commissioner yesterday.
Yeah,
I didn't know we had one.
No, he made himself that.
Got it.
A self-appointed role, and it couldn't have happened to a more fitting person. It makes sense he's doing this.
Everybody that's won something on Q101 has dealt with the great Dan Purcell. Now, what he said was in the video that Kenzie posted afterward, he noticed that Case put his hand against the wall at one point.
He did.
And that should have disqualified him. And even though I went down with my hamstring injury, I should get the silver medal tomorrow.
Okay,
so from yesterday.
No, I'm going to say Case put his hand on the wall about 45 seconds after you fell on the ground.
Doesn't matter. He broke the rules of the competition.
Well, I won, though. And now
I'm not saying you lose. You still win.
No, I'm saying that would only be valid if he won and had touched the wall before I fell.
So if we find out someone used steroids in a competition, they get to keep their medal?
He didn't. He didn't touch. If they used it after you already lost, then yes.
No,
by the
that's
way,
right. It doesn't matter when. If he was like accused of doping and it went through, he'd be disqualified to give the medal back.
After you already lost,
It doesn't matter what time the doping happened.
Do you want me to write an asterisk on the wall?
I want the medal.
No.
I want the silver medal.
You get nothing for falling on the ground after 10 seconds. I will not allow it.
You want to defend yourself?
I did dope to Walston. I do apologize to my friends and family.
Now you get the gold.
Cool. No, I want the silver. That's all I want right now. But we will tell you what we're competing against next, and then we'll do it at 8:50. This one is in my wheelhouse. I will make no excuses today. If I lose, I deserve to lose. I should get the gold today easy in today's competition. We'll tell you what it is in 10 minutes.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lauren coming to take you through a day closer to not only Bears football Thursday night, but Lollapalooza all day Thursday.
What a week.
What a week. It is a great week. It's a great week. And
to be honest, August is going to be coming in hot.
Yeah.
It's the first day of August, right?
We got, August 1st, Thursday, there we go.
Wow.
It's Lollapalooza. It's Green Day at Soldier Field. It's Green Day at Wrigley Field. It's Metallica at Soldier Field. It's KG Elephant in Chicago. It's
Bush is this month too.
Bush, Pearl Jam. It's all here.
Pearl Jam at Wrigley.
Football. It's all here. We've been talking about it for 8 months, quite literally, the entire year.
I'm already tired.
It's happening now.
I need a little nappy nap.
Buckle up.
Let's go. All right, so Lauren gets us one day closer to that with her shift today. All right, takeaways from you guys at 312-591-8300. Case, what do you got?
Frank's takeaway. His usage.
I, for one, agree with him. I don't think he got used enough.
His usage.
Not fair.
Oh, Michael Kopech, you will not be missed. Have fun in Los Angeles.
Very mean.
You think he stopped to pack up his apartment even? Or I guess he's at a house probably. I don't know what he's got.
I don't know. I'll help him pack up if he's not gone yet. I'll give him a ride to O'Hare.
You bring up that graffitied moving truck and help him move?
Exactly. Him complaining. His usage. Unbelievable. His usage.
Kenzie?
Oh my. Okay, Joe, people really hated their kids in the 1800s.
That's a fact.
I don't know what was going on there. Some pent-up frustration.
Wow. Finally, from 630, takeaway. Cubs keep kicking Kenzie in the balls year after year.
I just keep standing back up. I'm like, okay, I believe in the new team.
Case, well, what's on the podcast? I might just tell you right there.
Well, we have a new Kenzie's Krimes today. If you missed it, you can check that out. Also, the continuation of the Q Olympics, the fruit roll-up, fruit by the foot challenge that we did today, that Brian guaranteed he would win. You can find out the results there. And also, I had a full-blown mental breakdown in sports today. If you want to know why I was just yelling, his usage, you can listen on the Brian and Kenzie podcast. His usage.
All right. Also, reminder, tomorrow morning, 7:50. And this is 4-day VIP passes for Lollapalooza.
4-day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every artist you want to see with a special VIP wristband. It could be yours.
Ooh la la.
7:50 tomorrow morning.
songs.
It's not 15.
Okay, fine.
I really want to do that.
Me too.
I want a 15-song
Group
scramble.
We win. Me and Brian. You suck.
Done.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.